eventually crashed on takeoff, hit a residential building, and the casualties could be much higher. We are talking about more than 200 people who could be on board that aircraft. People are still looking for survivors. That's how massive this is. Rajiv, any more details so far? Anything from the DGCA?
Yeah, not exactly from the DGCA. Whatever we are going is, whatever information we are getting is through civilian sources and official sources from fire brigade and police. That is what we are getting information from these departments. Right now we are trying to contact DGCA and airport officials, but we have not got any concrete confirmation from them so far. But we are trying to reach to Air India also and airport officials also.
How soon do you think there is going to be an official word? Rajiv, we do know how the priority is to take the people who are survivors of this crash to safety, to the nearest hospital. Right now, we're looking at one particular hospital where every injured possibly is going to be taken to. But the impact of the crash, really, these visuals are telling a completely different story. We can see how big this crash really was, Rajiv.
Airport. Yeah, it is a densely populated area, so there were many people there. But civilian people, they rushed to the spot and they tried to help passengers, whoever can be saved. So they are taking them to nearby hospital. Then immediately state machinery also got into action and they sent 108 ambulances there, and immediately they are being shifted to civil hospital because civil hospital is just nearby the plane crash area. So they are being sent there, and civil hospital is also on high alert. We are trying to get information more from them, and it is a very, very big accident that has come, and since it was a densely populated area, so people rush to the spot and they try to help people who are affected by this crash.
Right. You were mentioning about how this plane possibly crashed into a building. You were saying that this was an under construction building. Were there workers there? Any way of ascertaining these things as well, Rajiv? Because here we are talking about growing number of casualties by every passing minute. And we can also see a huge crowd that has, in fact, descended there because of the smoke and the impact of that crash, Rajiv.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it is a densely populated area, so people were on road. They were from nearby localities. They immediately rushed to the spot and they tried to help people in whatever manner they can and rush them to the hospital to save as many lives as they can. And the fire brigade has also reached. We can see in the visuals that smoke was very dense. It is there, and fire officials, they are also trying to send out people from there. But what we are trying to get information is official information from airport officials and Air India, because it is their flight that has crashed and how many exact people were there on board. And that is what information we are trying to get. But what we are getting information from sources is that the number of casualties may be high, and people they were on board are more than 200 people were on board for the Ahmedabad-London flight.
Rajiv, how soon can we have eyes on the ground? Because these are still initial visuals that are trickling in, and these are rather distressing. We are getting very close shots of the crash, and we can see smoke and also fire, live fire that's still billowing from there. We also are seeing how people are trying to help as many as they can. The police is also on the spot. So are the fire tenders, first responders. You spoke about ambulances who are also there at the spot. A bit more about this area. We're talking about the Meghani Nagar area in Ahmedabad in Gujarat. You are talking about how densely populated this area is. What all is close to the airport where this crash has happened? Right, we'll try and re-establish the connection with Rajiv Pathak as he has given us very, very crucial details. We are learning that this was an Air India flight that was en route to London from Ahmedabad, a direct flight going to London. While it took off at about 7:57 a.m. is when it soon crashed. It crashed into a nearby building, possibly an under construction building, a residential one at that, that was being constructed for doctors who are part of the civilian hospital, the civil hospital over there. And the aircraft had more than 200 passengers on board. That's how distressing this piece of news is. From these images, we are only hoping that there are not many casualties. We do see certain distressing visuals of people trying to help the injured out of this crash site. They are trying to take them to the nearest hospital so that they can save their lives. But the impact of the crash has been massive. And you can see it's not just the smoke that we are, visuals that we are putting out that had emerged through the various mobile phone cameras of people who had shot these visuals because of the impact of the clash and also the sound and the smoke that they had seen and heard. We are also now getting more visuals of first responders, ambulances on spot, even as the smoke still continues to bellow. We also do know how the fire tenders have been pressed into service. Anvit Srivastava, my colleague, is also with us on the broadcast. Anvit, these are the details so far. Anything more that you're picking up? Anvit?
Yeah. See, what the information that we have got that it was a London-bound flight and it was an Air India Dreamliner. Is that what we are needing to know? And a number of passengers were also on board. This has been confirmed by the sources to CNN News 18, and it is confirmed that it was a flight that was bound to London. It had taken off from Ahmedabad, and the plane has met with a mishap. However, it is not confirmed and not has been confirmed from the airline that what is the magnitude of the mishap, or how many fatalities could be expected, if any. However, it has been said that the incident took place while taking off, while the aircraft was taking off. It was a Dreamliner that has been confirmed, which means that the capacity was at least of close to 200 passengers or more than that. So there could be number of passengers on board, which has not been confirmed by any authority so far on record. But yes, it is being said that there were more than 200 people, including passengers and crew on board. What is the number of fatalities? What are the nature of injuries? That is not known, but the kind of visuals that are coming in from Ahmedabad, huge smoke that is going up. The aircraft, it seems that it has gone up in flames. The magnitude that it is suggestive of, that clearly suggests that there could be possibility, grave possibility, that there are certainly fatalities and grievous injuries as well to the passengers.
Right, Anvit, allow me to put out those details that you've just shared with us for our viewers once again. This plane had about 232 people on board, 12 of them crew members, more than 220 passengers on board. This was a London-bound flight that was going out of Ahmedabad. Right now, we are also putting out hospital visuals for our viewers. As the injured are being taken into the nearby hospital, the hospital authorities and also the doctors and the attendants are reacting fast. They are going to the spot of the crash to take care of any survivors who could be there present. We are also learning that this was the Air India Dreamliner AI-171. That is the flight number. For anybody who's watching, who is worried about their kith and kin, they would want these details, rather distressing details, unfortunately, that we are having to put out. This was AI-171, an Air India Dreamliner, London-bound flight from Ahmedabad in Gujarat. 10 minutes on takeoff is when it crashed. Anvit, this is an important detail. So possibly the crash happened very, very close to civilian facilities outside the airport. Is that right?
Exactly, and this could also have led to fatality or agencies or injuries on ground as well, because the airport is an area that is surrounded by it's a heavily inhabited area, and there are residential buildings as well. In fact, the visuals that are coming in that are also clearly suggestive of the fact that the plane where it has, the location where it has gone up in flames is surrounded by visuals by residential buildings. The people are there on ground. Ambulances can be seen in the visuals as they have been rushed, and the emergency services like fire brigade and ambulances, and they have also been rushed to the spot. So these visuals are coming in, and we can see how the plane has gone up heavy in smoke and fire, which is also an indication that the number of passengers who were on ground, that certainly they have had grievous hurt. Not just that, but what we are fearing is that there could be high number of fatalities as well. What we know is that there were at least roughly about 240 people, at least 220 to 240 people on board that plane. It was a London-bound Dreamliner, Air India aircraft. Dreamliner are usually big aircrafts. They have a capacity of at least 250 to 240 to 250 people to keep them on board. And if this plane has crashed just after 10 minutes of taking off, there could be some technical glitch as well, which certainly, the airline will be accountable, but the accountability will be fixed later on once the basics are sorted, once the passengers are taken out. There could be survivors as well. So we do not know as of now what the magnitude of this crash as well is actually, but the kind of visuals that are coming in, they certainly are scary at the moment.